Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, star channeler, sacred guide, and evolutionary astrologer, and really your biggest cheerleader into your majesty and divinity. I am here to reawaken the ancient knowledge that pulsates through your cells that has been suppressed by generational wounds, by cultural conditioning, and by the stories that you have taken on from past experiences that are holding you in limitation. So let's go. We are here to talk about the annular Libra Solar Eclipse that's happening on August 14th, 2023 at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I know you're already feeling this. The reason I know that deeply is because I was at an event this weekend and the buzz is alive. Like the changes are at the precipice and we are stepping up. We're ready to make those bold moves. I'm so amazed by all the people that I got to do readings with and connect with during this weekend because it's like something has shifted in the people that are dropping into a conscious experience here in this transformation. And it's like there's a craving, there's a hunger for feeling a new way. And we're realizing that the only person in this life that can create that shift for us is us. So we're really making this transformation from generations of a pattern where we were always looking outside of us, right? We got conditioned in so many ways with all of the systems, the educational system, the bank system, the financial system, the hospital, the medical system, I feel like I'm missing a big one, the religious system, right? We got conditioned by all of those to keep giving our power away and just feeling like life was happening to us, right? And we're realizing, wait a second, we have all of the tools and abilities within ourselves. We have all of this potential within ourselves to shift the way that I feel, which creates the story that I run, which is the belief that I have and the reality that I'm seeing. So there's a lot to get into, but this is so exciting to me. The stage is going crazy. Now, remember, eclipses bring up what wants to be revealed, and we might not think we're ready for it. But I'm telling you right now that you're ready for it. Not only that, but if you are starting to seek more community in your life of like minds, like spirits, like frequencies, you're always going to be ready for it because you always have this foundation and base where you are fully witnessed, you're held in unconditioned, and you feel the trust that we have gotten fractured from over and over and over again. We've lost trust in ourselves, we've lost trust in each other, and we've lost trust in life. But that, my friends, is changing. And this is a huge energy to really activate that in us because there's a lot of South Node Libra emphasis that is no longer self-sacrificing, no longer looking for something in our environment to create that harmony for us. And I cannot wait to drop deeper into this with you. But first of all, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and stay in contact with me so that you're alerted whenever I drop a transmission. They're pretty random, but it may just be the sign or the message that's coming through for you that day that's going to open a new path or energy that's going to quantum leap you in different areas of your life. So what we do on these moon videos is I come on and I share a little bit about what I'm feeling in my intuitive channel as I tap into the collective as these energies are really building. And then I'm going to share the chart with you so we can look at the aspects that I'm talking about that I feel like want to be highlighted. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but if you want to learn more about reading an astrology chart, it's a great way to do it because I actually line them out for you to see where we're looking. And then we pull in the guides even more for a card reading on how to use these energies to the best of our ability and ways to strengthen the way that we're moving through them. Now, of course, with eclipses, it is that like cataclysmic reset is what I feel in an eclipse energy. But the thing is, this eclipse is on the tail end of that big Venus retrograde and the combination of Venus and Mercury together, which it feels like that was really the work, right? The excavation that wanted to come up. That was like where we went so deep and so raw to let ourselves say yes instead of saying no because of the fear of the pain. We now know that when we open up to it, it's our greatest superpower, and it creates that bigger space of knowledge, medicine, wisdom, enlightenment, where we're going, how to create the life of our dreams that we know we came here to live, right? We've been the ones that are holding ourselves back. I just actually talked about this morning, how it's really coming deeper and deeper to me that the only veil between us and the other realms and consciousness that's beyond the physical is us. It actually comes down to our belief. So when I talk to you about your belief, especially your belief in value, when you really believe that something's valuable, you trust it and you practice it, you engage in it, you create a lifestyle around it. But when you think it's valuable, there's only control there, there's not trust, and you actually don't practice it because you waver in this space of possible disappointment and frustration. So when it doesn't come true, but you're thinking it, you're not actually embodying it and doing it from a belief that's unshakable. So I really want you to look at, what are you valuing in your life? And this kind of comes down to time, right? Because we're so often like, well, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the practice. I don't have time to get together. I don't have time for the sound bath. I don't have time for the meditation. Da, 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 da. I don't have time. Da. Well, it's that you don't value it enough because you don't believe in the results that will come from it. So this is why in any of my containers, it's a progressive acceleration that we move through, because I want it to be less overwhelming so that you can start doing practices and receiving results. And the more you receive results and experience, because unfortunately we're so heavy on needing experience in our life, but I'm here to crack that. Yes, I am. I am the frequency conduit. But then when you get that actual physical experience of the result, then you start to elevate that loop and it becomes a new pattern of like, oh, wait, I'm actually excited to do this instead of it being a burden because it's taking out of the rest of my day that I have so much scheduled for, right? Then it becomes like a non-negotiable. And when it becomes your non-negotiable, that's when more results, more manifestation, more love, more whatever it is that you're desiring comes to you because your frequency is raising, because you're actually engaging in that alignment. So I hope that that helps as I move us through that scenario, because this really is go time. All the planets are going to be moving into direct from retrograde. We've already got all the personal planets direct, but we've got some outer planets that are kind of going to go direct one by one. So you're going to feel an acceleration of the energies, especially through this eclipse season. So I want you to be in that alignment and be really clear, really solid and grounded as you begin to move through these deep changes in your life. Because believe me, I know you're doing big changes because you finally get it. It's like you get it in the depths of your soul that no one else can do this for you. No one else is going to do this for you. And you are tired. You are tired of the pattern. You're tired of the loop. You're tired of feeling like this. You're tired of the reactions, right? So this is where I feel like this Libra South Node energy is catapulting us into the North Node of Aries, because it's going to reveal those cracks of where it's like you continue to fall back and it's the same thing again. It's like I just get this feeling of like this again, because our cells don't vibrate to that again anymore. Like they're over here wanting to be high, wanting to be energetic. They want you to feel good. So first and foremost, I want you to take stock during this time. What doesn't feel good and how you might be contributing to the loop, and how you can pull yourself out, how you can make a new choice. I want to say you can make a new embodied choice. Okay. There was somebody I gave a reading to yesterday, and it was so interesting as this message came through. And it was like the usual, like she felt like she was responding in a new way by not entertaining the, the control or the anger that was coming towards her. So she would just leave the environment. But that's not the whole story. So how did you leave the environment? Well, I left in anger. That doesn't change the feeling. That's not the root. So the message that came through for her, and it was really fun, and this is why I'm sharing it with you, because we can have fun with this, right? Was as soon as she felt the control or the anger on this other side coming at her, because clearly this person is unconscious and they're not doing their work, right? And this is a pattern that has really got its heels in their dynamic and in this environment. And I was like, just start baking a cake. That's it. You don't even have to leave the room. Just start baking a cake, and let baking a cake create the feeling that you want and see what happens. So, and it led to this whole thread of possibilities of like, maybe you have 10 cakes in a week, and maybe you take them and you donate them. And maybe through donating them, you make a new friend. And now you have somebody who gets you that you can like really drop in with when these things are happening, and you can exchange, and you can, bounce ideas off of each other, and you can do yoga together, embodiment work, whatever, right? So you see where this goes. So not only do you change the energy and do something new in the moment, it's like what happens from the new thing that you do, and where does that take you? Where do you allow it to take you? And then what can be a part of life that you haven't experienced yet from there? This is where limitless possibilities lie. This is where trust lies. And this is where expansion lies. But if we keep just leaving the room in the same state, in the dysregulated nervous system, just changing the physicality doesn't get to the root. We've got to get to that root, and we've got to honor the nervous system and the body consciousness, because the body consciousness is going to take us to places where there's going to be deeper healing for us when we're available and open for it. So I hope that was super helpful for you. I had such a blast at this event. So if any of you are here watching the videos that got to interact with me in that event, hello. It was such a joy and a pleasure to meet all of you. And I'm so excited that we're continuing our journey together. And now I'm going to share the chart with you so I can show you what we're looking at here. Okay, here we go. So right here is the sun and moon conjunct. That's what a new moon is, but this is an eclipse. It's an annular eclipse, which is actually the ring of fire. And that's part of that energy that I'm tapping into, about how all of this Libra work is moving us deeply into Aries, which is our fire in our north node there. And what I want to highlight, first of all, is this conjunction. It's 4, right? We've got the south node in Libra, the sun in Libra, the moon in Libra, and Mercury in Libra. 24, 21, 21, 17. So that's within a 10-degree orb. And that's typically what I use. Not everybody's going to use the same orbs, but I like 5 degrees a lot more. But because they're all in here, that's really activating that Libra archetype, and also the ruler of Libra, which is Venus, which is the huge retrograde we just went through this summer for 4 months, which is a full nervous system reset for us. And this is where really drop in and follow your body consciousness messages, because they are going to guide you, and let yourself be in a space of evolution. Nothing ever has to be finite. You only create a story around it that it's finite. And when you do that, you hold everybody else in the past and not in their own evolution, right? Like, what a beautiful thing we have as humans of adaptability, but we've just been trained out of it for so long. So Libra, again, it's really about watching, where are you self-sacrificing, and where are you finding balance and harmony in your life that feels good? It's in that unconditioned, it's in that witness. It's where you can be your full self, where you can be vulnerable and authentic. So just start paying attention to that in all of your relationships, and then start getting curious about how that might shift and change. Now, of course, any of this is going to be more intense, less intense, depending on what your natal chart is doing with these transiting planets and points. So you might have something intense happening in your relationship sector. It could be in your work sector. It could be in your self sector, right? So there's so many areas that this might get bigger for you. But no matter what, Libra is the planet of relationship, not just romantic, coworkers, friends, family. I mean, family is more so Cancer, but it can be family. We can look at all of the relationships. And Venus is, how do I give and receive? And I'm sure if you've watched my video before, I think the last one, maybe I talked about this in, am I available to give without expectation? And can I receive without guilt? So you see how those two are actually separate, but when we can activate that energy of each one, we are in this space of flow, of openness, and there's no imbalance within ourselves. We're not looking for anything, and we're not shrinking away from something. Okay. That's really important. So that's the best of this Libra energy that I think is important for us to really shine a light on, right? For ourselves. That ring of fire, right? Like what's in the middle? What's in the darkest part of that? And how can we say yes to revealing it in a way that feels okay? It feels good. You don't have to do anything that's so explosive that it just like rocks your world. You get to do this in your own softness, right? But that's the key, is you're the one that finds your softness. You're the one that creates your softness. And when you do that, everything and everyone else around you will shift as well. So you shift your environment by getting to the root within. Okay. So there's that conjunction. And then I also wanted to talk about, we have this ongoing T-square between Pluto and the nodes. So there's the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. I have a video about this that I will, over here. I will put it up here so you can watch that after you're done with this one. Stay with me here because it's lots of fun. We're getting to like deep places of death and rebirth. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. But honestly, nothing can die without something being reborn, because we are infinite, because energy always continues, right? So even if we transition off this planet, we aren't gone, we just transform, and something is reborn in a beautiful new way. So when we look at the North Node in Aries, this is all about your confidence. It's really stepping up and saying yes to whatever's been tapping on your soul, the thing that makes you so unique and nobody else is doing it. That's what we really want to march forward with. That's what we want to take action with, because Aries is the planet of action. It's ruled by Mars. So we have to watch reaction, but we want to actually move forward with that strength behind us, and not looking to anybody else, not comparing ourselves to anybody else, and not looking for our own internal balance from anybody else. So when you have that centeredness and strength within yourself, you're going to say yes. You're going to show up. You're going to do the thing, right? And it's a very innovative sign. It's the pioneering sign. It's filterless. So it just goes, doesn't wait, and it sees what happens. So this is where I want you to activate this energy of trying it a new way and seeing what happens. And it doesn't have to be anything super like wild and crazy, but it can be something like bake a cake instead of storming out of the room. Like, see how much power you have when you shift your own frequency and field, and what can happen from there. So use that energy in that Aries in the North Node for that. And I also want to highlight some nice trine energies here, which are just harmonious energies. They're helpful, they're supportive, they're balanced energies. And so Mars in Scorpio is trining Saturn in Pisces. So this is really Mars in Scorpio taking action on letting yourself go deep. Scorpio is the sign of transformation. It's the sign of death and rebirth as well. And Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, right? And so it's also the sign of we, like ours, our resources, me and somebody else's. So this can be the resources in a relationship. This can be financial resources. It's some connection between you and another and bringing in those resources. And it can also be value of the resources of value for ourselves. So you want to use this Saturn and Pisces of really discerning how to go forward and what's feeling most expansive for you. So Pisces is limitless, it's boundless, it's expansion, but Saturn wants you to take your time. Saturn wants you to do it well. Saturn wants you to become the master of it. So tap into what feels boundless, what feels like all of you is being seen. So it feels safe and you have trust. And that's where you take action, right? And if not, then how do you take action in a different way? Especially when we're looking at relationships or connections or dynamics between myself and another. Okay. And then we have another trine that I wanted to point out, which is Venus in Virgo trining Jupiter in Taurus. We love Jupiter when it gets into this nice, benefic, peaceful planet of Venus, right? Venus is all about peace. It's about love and it's about relationship. It's about giving and receiving, like I said. And how do we want to be loved? How do we want to share love? It is our value. It's beauty. It's like aesthetics. It's art. So really let Jupiter expand the Venus in Virgo. And this Virgo is about how you think, how you process, right? And that it can also be how you communicate. And Virgo's like, what do you do on a daily basis? So look at the loops that you're running on a daily basis in your mind and let Jupiter in Taurus come in that earthy vibe, in that like steadfast vibe of like, this feels so much better. Let's keep thinking this. Let's keep activating this. Let's keep finding this and applying it to our everyday life. Now, of course, Virgo is also the connection between spirit and the physical world. Virgo brings spirit to this physicality. Virgo helps us know how to do life really well on a daily basis. So how can you expand that more? So expand it where it's like, okay, I am doing this every day. It feels good to do this every day. So these are the energies where we get these openings where something just becomes super easy. And I'm always telling people, like, ride that wave, grab it, because when you experience the results, when the energies change and maybe you don't have so much harmony to keep, or, you know, maybe shit hits the fan, whatever it is, you have that remembrance of the experience of the results that you had and how good that feels. And that will motivate you to keep it going through all of the ebbs and flows and the astrological weather. Okay, so I hope that was super helpful. And we are going to end here with a card reading. And I'm going to tell you, I have only used this new Oracle deck twice. So this is exciting that I felt prompted to pull these out and see what comes through. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, of course. I mean, they're always so confirming and validating. That's why I love the card reads, and they are me. It feels like it's an extension of me because we love confirmation. Am I right? That's why people get readings with me, because it's not that I'm giving them some big shocking news. It's that I'm confirming what their intuitive voice has been telling them, but they've been denying for a long time. So it's actually about the observation, and then you get to know the voice that is what's guiding you. And then you get to know when you're up here in the overactive thinking mind and you're comparing it to all these experiences and you're living from a learned fear and you're controlling the unfolding of this journey. So the first card is Fool's Embrace, which is transmuting pain. So this is just a nice reminder that eclipses, like I said, they bring intensity. This isn't really just a flowing moon where we hang out and do our ritual. Like, we have this level of preparation for what's to come. That's why astrology is so nice, when we can start to kind of get a heads up, but we really want to stay in that adaptability and flow, because astrology is evolving as well. We can't stay in all of the historical books and with the people that have rigid rules about any system or any thought process or belief. We have to really let ourselves be breathable. We have to let ourselves be open for the expansion, because that's how we're going to make these big leaps, not just for our own lives, but as we transform and transmute the pain of our own lives and we start living in that higher frequency, we do it for the entire collective. We do it for the whole grid. And this is extra important right now as we have yet another war that's being highlighted, and we're seeing so many devastating images, but it's not images, it's reality of these innocent human lives being lost and having so much violence and anger and hatred. And, this is the time that we really have to remember that it's in those places of deep sadness that we don't want to become incapacitated. We don't want to just roll over and be helpless and wait for some savior to be voted into office that tells us lies about what they're going to do. And then here we are again. This is our time. We are doing this work, and we are creating this revolution of consciousness that becomes a tidal wave out into the systems, but the people that are running those systems, and we change it from the inside out. We change it from the energy out. Everything is energy way before it becomes physical. So I love the importance of this card right now. So let yourself be available. And this next card is just as important. Be available, but this group think, the mindful, to me, this is more about the mindful. Your mind is too full of the patterns that you've been in with the thing that is just like, I cannot do this anymore. I get this feeling like, oh, this again, I cannot do this again. So we're moving to the group think of finding those communities that are in the vibration and frequency of where you're going, where your heart wants to open to, that you get really held in this space, that you feel trust. When we have an environment of trust around us holistically, mind, body, soul, spirit, energy, we transform, we change. This is where miracles happen, right? This is happening in my community, my membership community right now. So if you want to know anything about it, please send me a message. But so many beautiful souls are coming in, and we have started this amazing community chat. And everyone, the vibrancy of this, I feel it growing. And this membership has been going on for a few years. So it's no longer just about the circles that we come in, but this is about the ongoing evolution that's available when we really show up. We show up in all of it. We show up for each other. And we trust that when we can give, we give. And we trust that there's going to be someone there to receive. And maybe it's not everyone all the time, but it's an ongoing thread. And it's an ongoing, like, rich activation of life. And it keeps getting bigger. So please, if you're looking for one of those communities, we would love, love, love to welcome you in. It's getting really strong and powerful, and my channel gets more powerful with that. So I'll just let you know right now, this video is dropping on Monday, and the membership price has stayed at launch price for a very long time, because I haven't gotten the message to change it, but I did get the message to change it some time back. So on Wednesday, it's going to regular price. So if you want to jump in, and for the life of your membership, well, until you leave, you get to have this unbelievable price for the amount of support and community that you get. Jump in today. Listen to your body consciousness, follow it. You get to come and go as you please. The only caveat to that is if you leave at the launch price, when you come back in, it'll be a different price. And maybe that's part of your path at that time. When we expand our own money consciousness for ourselves, we expand it for what comes in as well. It's going to leave you with that. So again, if you have questions, hit me up. If not, check out the link below and see if that's really something that resonates with your heart right now. And oh, funny. And then the last question is resonating. It's whale song. I love the animals coming in, the whale song coming in. I actually had a dream about the ocean last night, and there was elephants that I dreamed about. So there was these two elephants, and one of them, I just was so in love with this elephant. And when the elephant's trunk touched me, it was like shimmering went through my body. It was like I was out of body. I was consciousness whenever this elephant's trunk would touch me. And it was actually to the point where I was lucid dreaming and I didn't want to come out of the dream. And I knew it was time to come out of the dream, but that feeling was so blissful. It was so peaceful throughout my whole body with this elephant that I was just like, no, I want to stay forever. But what I took from that dream is we are moving into deep places of prosperity from what's happening in this absolute rebirth. For me, again, eclipses, they like shut everything down. It's almost like the 0 point activation. It's a change in the entire frequency, and boom, how do we come back online? And the whale song, I've been hearing the whale song just in my head. I've been hearing this tune, and the whales have been coming more and more in their medicine. I got this at the last retreat that I held in Mexico because there's so much whale medicine that comes through at that time. Oh, it's unbelievably powerful. And when I used to tap into the whales, I felt this sadness. It's like they knew. It's like they knew the trajectory or the path that humans were on, and it was like so disconcerting for them. It was just so heavy for them. And this last year in Mexico in January, when I tapped into them, there's a hopefulness. It's like it's like they're singing the consciousness that's coming online because they feel it coming from us because we are so connected. Remember, beyond form. So let yourself feel into that. Where can whale medicine come in and just soothe your soul? That whale song. How can it remind you of how big you are beyond any of these changes taking place and how much further you're going to go by saying yes to the changes taking place, by saying no to the loop and pattern that you are not available for anymore, because it's exhausting and it's overwhelming. And we are so on the verge of being done with that. And the rest of it in the physicality is going to come from there. Whether you're thinking in your job, in money, in love, in relationships, in location, whatever it is, we're doing this as a collective too. So if you feel like you've been, kind of grinding against something to try to try to create these dreams of yours, know that things are really shifting now and they're going to happen much quicker. So let yourself be so available for how you show up in a new way from the thing that is dragging on your soul and it is absolutely not yours anymore. The story is going away. This eclipse energy is doing its job with that. Okay, y'all. I hope that this has been super helpful for you. Again, I am just so appreciative that you're here and you're a part of this community. If you've gotten some support from these messages, please share this video with at least one friend, if not more. It really helps me to continue to come on and offer these free transmissions. So let's just keep doing this. Let's keep raising each other up and elevating more of what's absolutely really showing up for us in new ways in our physical world, because we've been laying the foundation. I'm so proud of y'all. I honor y'all. Until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.